Wow, can I not stop getting messages about what I am playing or what you should play for the crafting season that's coming up on Friday. So in no particular order, we're just going to go through some of my top choices for what you guys should play, depending on what your goals are for the little mini season. Remember, it's only 3 weeks long, and we're going to go through it in, like I said, no particular order here. So in tier F for fantastic for clearing you through hell is probably going to be a Summon-mancer. Mostly naked. I have a couple things in the pluggy stash on to mimic having a plus 12 skills, which I think is reasonable to have from crafted gear and things you find. But Skeleton Warrior Mastery and I think Archer is going to be the best bet. I dumped in the Golem Mastery for more tanks, and dump skill was Amplified Damage. But obviously, you know, the Summon-mancer is going to do just fine just because it's relying on skills, but it's safe. If you're just looking to get through hell and say you did it with crafted gear, well, here you go. It'll get you through nice and slow. It probably won't be a great mapper. I always found when people say, oh yeah, my Skeleton-mancer is great at mapping, it's like, it's not as fast as they say it is, and it's not as good as it could be. If you deck it out, yeah, it is great, it's awesome, but remember, we are using crafted gear and what we can find here, so... this will get you through hell. It'll be okay. It'll be safe. It's going to work well in groups, especially if you can pair it with a Paladin or a Barbarian friend that you have. Alright, in Tier D, which I'm not going to show off because I'm not going to spend 3 hours reloading and trying to craft throwing weapons, is Barbarian. Throw Barbarian. Tier D for don't you have any originality and play something that might stress you a little bit. Double throw, double swing, those are your main damaging skills, throwing mastery, and one of the things I would do with this, I would max out battle orders and dump into natural resistance. Just because I think survivability is going to be something people really overlook. People will sit there and craft and get that awesome throw weapon and be like, this is great. And then they're going to walk out into the world and get one shot and go, what the fuck? So yeah, it's standard. Everyone knows how throw barb works. If you don't know how throw barb works, there are a million guides and a million showcases out there. Get some GG throwing weapons, find some sort of armor with ED, rare armors can roll ED on it, get yourself a decent helm to boost some skills and things like that, and you're pretty much good to go. Deadly Strike's going to come at a premium here, but you can get it on blood, crafts, and things like that, or open wounds, anything that's going to boost your damage and keep you at a distance from things that might hit you. For group play, obviously, again, it's going to be a great option just because of battle orders and battle command and everything that the barb brings. So even if you have absolutely no originality, great King David, we're still going to very much welcome you into our group where we're trying to run magic casters. In Tier C for Can't I Stop Making Summons on Love videos, it's the Summoner Amazon, because she does the same thing the Necromancer does, but she will be a little bit quicker. Max out Decoy and Valkyrie. Those are going to be your main damagers. Max out Strafe to buff your decoys. Your dump points can go and do Critical Strike and Penetrate. Remember, you're not really going to have a lot of plus skills on this. I mean, I have some because this is what my character loaded on the showcase had. But your plus skills are not going to be that great. Obviously, if you can get up with maybe skill gear and some skillers you can find, you can get that third Valkyrie, which would be very, very helpful. But as you can see, I'm just using a regular crafted bow. It was like the first one I made. I got really lucky with that armor, admittedly, but if you can see the 200% ED, it's a decent bit of damage, but it's nothing, you know, game-breaking or anything like that, right? And the rest of the gear is just sort of, well, stuff I had on the showcase Amazon. Oops, sorry. Spawn your decoys and let her go to work. Now, the only difference is well, I'm not sure if it will be it should be faster than a Summon Necro, but you do have to find a better bow. Obviously, if I got a 300 ED bow, this would go a little bit faster. But overall, oh, Might Merc too, that helps. But, you know, well, physical means, yeah, I definitely have to get that Might Merc. But the benefit of this class is, well, that it's awesome. That you're not just playing a class everyone else plays, and maybe you can get up on those leaderboards because maybe fewer people are playing the Amazon, as I expect Necromancer and Barb to be the top two choices. But as you can see, this does fine enough. Gotta get something for physical immunes. Alright, in Tier B for boy, didn't you pick an exciting class? I think people are not looking at the Assassin enough. I think a Venom Assassin with Cobra Strike, because those are synergies for each other, is going to be a really great option. As you can see, the Venom damage here is over 0.4 seconds, which is basically instant, so every hit's going to have an extra 1,000 damage, which In this case, 1,000 damage is just, you know, people are overlooking how much damage they're going to be doing, really. You have the OP Fade skill, which, I mean, for Resist All, which, again, people are going to be struggling to find. You're going to have to fill your charms with damage or resistances. You know, this is just underrated, that you can just pop that off. I'll take off the Annie, but that's what it would be, you know, just flatlined with a couple skills to simulate having some stuff on there. I guess -4 is the total with max fade. Yeah, so that cuts down on the amount of resist charms that you need greatly. It's going to have good damage. Obviously, you're still going to be limited the same way everyone else is by having to get some sort of good crafted weapon. On the flip side, though, you could also run the Blade Assassin. If you find a weapon that's not a claw, well, these do damage based on weapon damage, and these would also be great skills to use. And Blade Shield, the one hit or 1-point wonder, just extra damage from your weapon a quarter. I mean, eventually this is all going to add up. Plus the skills from Cobra Strike. I think this is going to be a really, really good option to go forward with in terms of survivability and damage. Can't really go wrong with this one. I think it's going to be actually a really underrated class. I'm almost talking myself into switching off what I'm going to play into playing this. And in tier A for awesome, I'm going with any Paladin. I think Paladins are, again, slept on here. Any of the aura skills are going to be great. I've actually tried out the Holy Freeze. That one's not working too well, if I'm honest. It's a great defensive skill, but the damage isn't really there. But running Holy Fire or Holy Shock with all the synergies as your main aura does pretty well. Hammers are probably going to do okay with, you know, not a whole lot of skill gear on. On this one, I have +7 to skills to mimic having on some stuff. It's just the crafted gear that was in the thing, so it's pretty OP, and your resistances are up there. But as you can see, I don't really have the charms rolling. I took off the skillers to showcase this a little bit. I'm going to be running Fist of Heavens. The reason I'm doing that is my group is just going to benefit from it. We have a guy who wants to play Fire Sork, which is going to suck without the Conviction on. So bringing Conviction or Fanaticism, depending on what you're playing. Again, also a melee Paladin, same thing, you got to get that crafted weapon, but if you get one good weapon, Fanaticism is great to bring to a party. It's the only place you're going to get it now. But the Conviction aura is just really too good to pass up if you have any magic user in the group you're going to be playing with, or even solo. It's a really easy build. Fist of Heavens, max out Holy Nova, which I'm doing because it heals, so I can periodically heal the group. Holy Light for that when my idiot Barb friend is near death, as he will always be. And you can obviously, you know, max out Holy Bolt instead of this for an extra skill to damage if you wanted. But it's straightforward build. Just get your Conviction and get your synergies for Fist of Heavens. And honestly, this shreds. It really does. Any Paladin works great and all that, but in terms of damage for low skills, remember, all I got is +7 skills on this. Any skillers you can find or scrounge up makes it even better, but really, I don't think in terms of crafting gear you're going to find something better than this. Of course, I didn't get any mana potions. Professional YouTuber here. I'm great and the best. Obviously, getting an Act 1 Merc with meditation will help the mana issues. But in terms of being far away from stuff, being safe, you have some AoE with the Holy Bolts. This is what I'm going to be playing, because it's too good to pass up. I've run it like this naked through. I was able to kill Diablo and do a full Chaos run in a couple minutes. So it's really strong. I don't know what else I'm saying here. I'm just filling time with nonsense. Those are my top 5. Did I do 5? 5 classes. Yeah, 5 classes you should play for the crafting season coming up. If there's one in here that I did not mention, it's because that class is horrible and you shouldn't play it. No, just kidding. There's probably some I have skipped over. I'm sure people are saying that Boazon will be good if you can get that crafted bow. Just run a multi-shot Zon if you have enough damage. I'm sure some people will be hyping up Javazon. I'm just not a big fan of Javazon, so I don't really include it when I do these things. I think Wind Druid will also be good. Again, if you can find anything that casts amplified damage and put it on a mercenary. Wind Druids do mainly physical damage with their twisters, so that's going to be a brilliant class to start out on. Or if you have a Necromancer in your party who can amplify damage things. I did test out Cursemancer because I figured that would be good. does not work too well. It's really, really hard to stay alive with a Cursemancer and get everything off. It does good damage, it eats up your mana and you die a little too quickly. I also tried to test out Zeal Paladin with a really, really, really bad weapon. You will need to find a good crafted weapon. It's just, your survivability is great on a standard Zealer, but you will need to find that crafted weapon with over 200 or 300 damage on it to make really any progress through hell, I think. Beyond that, let me make sure there's nothing I have skipped over that I wanted to mention sucked. Don't think there is. I mean, some classes that everyone runs are just not, if you have well, Lightning Sword would do well because you can break some lightning immunes, but Cold Sword, I'd stay away from that. I just would. It wouldn't do too well. Werewolf, I don't know shit about Druid. I'm sure Rabies would do really well. I think, Werewolf and Werebear are going to suffer from the same problems. You got to get that GG crafted weapon to make them work, but Rabies would probably work pretty well. Sing Barb, I don't know enough about Sing Barb to say if that would work well, so I'll just leave it at that. Oh, Trap Assassin. I tried out Trap Assassin. Trap Assassin sucks. Or Wake of Fire does at least. I tried Lightning a little bit too. The Death Sentries do a little bit, but really until you can find a bunch of plus skills, the fire damage from the Fire Sin just isn't enough to justify it, I don't think. I'd much rather run the Poison or the Blade Sentry Assassin over it. So that's it, guys. I hope that was informative for you. So, good luck.